we are basket case is, guys, what day is it? I don't even know what time it is, what day it is. Time is escaping me. We're going to go ahead and talk about some eukaryotic cells. Remember Mr. O'Brien's handy mnemonic device. Can't do cells right, which are 4 organelles that are shared between are 2 different types of eukaryotic cells, namely aminal and palate. So betwixt the both of them, can't do cells right, we have cytoplasm, DNA, cell membrane, ribosomes. Cytoplasm, DNA, which is contained inside the nucleus. Cell membrane, which is this maroon burgundy guy, and ribosomes, which are all these dots right on what you now know is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and there are unattached free ones floating around inside the cell, like so. With the plant cell, same exact thing. Can't is cytoplasm, which is the white space. Do, DNA, which is inside the nucleus. Cells, cell membrane, still this maroon burgundy color. Ribosomes are the dots attached to the rough ER and floating around the cell. So, doesn't matter what kind of eukaryotic cell we're talking about, plant or animal, they're going to have those 4 things. So, friendly reminder, eukaryotic cells are very complex. They have lots of parts, which you guys now know are organelles. Just a quick overview of the organelles. Basically, the gist of the organelles are to help the cells do their job, which is to produce protein. So we're going to start in the nucleus. Inside the nucleus is DNA, which is the instructions for the cell. These little cycles that I've drawn are nuclear pores. If you remember from our protein synthesis conversation, we're going to make a copy of the DNA message in mRNA. The mRNA is going to leave the nuclear pore, go to the rough endoplasmic reticulum where there are ribosomes. The ribosomes are where translation is going to happen. It's going to take that message, turn it into amino acids. Then I've made this trail of dots right here leaving the cell. These are transport vesicles. The transport vesicles will take the proteins from the ribosomes, either the free ribosomes or the ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, take them to this pile of poop looking thing, which is called the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi body or the Golgi complex. And then from there, we can take them to different places in the cell, or like I'm showing here, we can leave the cell and go somewhere else. So the name of the game is protein synthesis. Essentially, all of the parts within the cell are there to help this process occur, right? Make a protein, get the protein to go somewhere else. So nucleus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, the one that has the ribosomes on it. This guy is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which helps to create some of the membranes that we have that comprise the cell parts. This is the Golgi apparatus. The orangey guys are transport vesicles, and then these guys are mitochondria. And the mitochondria are what we're getting ready to talk about right now, what we talked about Friday. They produce the energy for the cell. So all of this stuff that we're talking about is possible because the mitochondria are producing cellular energy, which is ATP. In the plant cell, it's the same exact process. We got a nucleus, we have ribosomes on our rough endoplasmic reticulum. Proteins are made there. They go to the Golgi apparatus, which here I've made a little bit lighter brown color. We have our mitochondria, we have our cell membrane, which is a sort of purplish color. The differences are, we have this gigantor guy right here, which is called a large central vacuole. It's basically just a giant bag of water that exerts pressure on the outside of the cell. It's like blowing up a water balloon inside the cell to maintain the cell shape. We have this guy, which is the cell wall on the outside of the cell membrane. So it's kind of an extra protection, an extra protective layer. And then we have these green guys, which are the chloroplasts. And the chloroplasts are the site of photosynthesis. So the cell can take sunlight, turn it into sugar, and then that sugar goes from the chloroplast to the mitochondria. The mitochondria use the sugar to make ATP, which is the next video I'm going to post. So for right now, make sure you understand what the organelles are, how they work, and that the overall process is to make proteins.